Hey everybody, Oakland Mayor Quan's speech was last night for those of you who live in Oakland, and for those of you who don't, listen up because I've got some news that is impacting news that was of a national level regarding the Oakland Art Murmur shooting of a month ago. But the bottom line is Oakland Mayor Quan's speech was too long. It could have been much shorter. She covered all the bases, presented a lot of good news about Oakland. For example, Oakland had 5,000 more new jobs last year, revenues are up, and we're opening new businesses, which is a great thing. I simply am tired, however, of every mayor in Oakland's history since I have been here focusing on shootings and negatives and pathologies. Every city has its pathologies. I want to hear Oakland talk about its future, what it's going to go after, what it's going to build. And the fact that we don't do that means we don't have enough stuff in the pipeline coming. Are we going after a Super Bowl? Are we building a new skyscraper? Do we have a new manufacturing plant coming in? What is going on? She touched on initiatives that would develop, say, light manufacturing, but nothing that was concrete. Other than that, it was a speech that, had it been shortened, it could have been a lot better than it was. It was simply, epically too long. The other issue I have is that people don't show up for these events, these State of the City addresses, like they used to in the past. There are a lot of reasons for that. I haven't pinpointed what the single reason is, although maybe it has to do with the popularity or not of the mayor. And that's a gauge for Jean to pay attention to, because if she's going to consider running for re-election, she's got to ask herself, can she truly win against a candidate that would arguably be more popular than she? I call it the bar idea, the bar philosophy, that the more popular the bar owner, the more likely people are going to come to that person's place again and again and again, and in droves. And I don't sense that Mayor Quan is the kind of bar owner, if you will, that's drawing tons of people to see her. She has a loyal following, no question about it, but it's not large. City Hall wasn't filled to the rafters last night. It should have been. Now, here are other views. Councilmember Schaaf, what did you think of the mayor's speech?
I think she did a good job of capturing Oakland. It's a city with so much magic and creativity and greatness, but it has a lot of challenges. So I think this year's speech was a bit more honest than last year's, where she kind of glossed over the challenges. I think she did take them on this time.
Anything that you wanted to hear, but you hear more of, or vice versa?
She talked about the steps that the city has taken around public safety. I will say that those were all initiatives of the council and did not come from her. And so I think she could have acknowledged that. I think she did do a better job this year of using us and we and recognizing all the different pieces of the puzzle that make up Oakland. So I thought her speech was more evolved and more inclusive. But that was just one observation that I, as an insider, had that maybe no one else would have noticed.
Yeah, but it made us richer by sharing it. Thanks a lot. Councilmember-led McElhaney, District 3, actually my district.
Yes.
In order of protocol, Bishop Bob Jackson, thank you so much. But Councilmember, what did you think of the speech?
I thought the mayor did a fantastic job, as she really laid out where Oakland is and where we're going. We talked about some challenges that the city has in front of it. We also talked about our strengths. She made the case, I believe, for businesses investing here. She talked about the highlight, the wineries, the new food movement, our green tech sector, our healthcare sector. She really, I think, showcased what is beautiful and powerful and strong, while simultaneously looking at the challenges. She didn't shy away from the challenges that we have in public safety, and I believe she did her best to lay her support out there for our federal and electeds who are fighting this notion around gun control and the need for smart policy at the federal level to allow us to get a handle on what's going on here. So I am delighted with the tone that she set for the city, for the camaraderie that we felt in the chambers with most of the council members here, with all of our senior managers. I looked around this room and I saw an army that was really ready to go to war for this city, addressing the challenges and celebrating our successes and building on our strengths.
Bishop?
Well, I can piggyback on what Council Member McElhaney has said. I thought the exact same. I thought she did a fantastic job with showcasing the city and bringing out a whole bunch of things that I didn't know that was happening with the city, the statistics that she gave about how we are ranking, in the nation now and how people are looking at Oakland. But the only problem that I really had and I continue to have is centered around public safety. There was no plan to get more cops, really. There was no plan to get more mutual aid for the police officers that we have now, which are not able to protect our city right now. When the citizens of Oakland, at least in the area where I'm at in East Oakland, they don't feel safe. Gunshots are being fired all the time. And I mean, it's like a war zone in the areas. Every night almost there's shootings, there's stray bullets flying and whatnot. The other night they had the kids trying to go to the library. They couldn't go to the library because the gunshots rang out right in front of them. And just the grace of God, they weren't shot up. 60 bullets were fired right in front of them. So we talk about the city and we talk about all the things that's going on, but except we make public safety #1 priority and to come up with a plan, a real plan for mutual aid for our police officers and also for more academies and to get local hire on our police force. We need local people that grew up in Oakland, that love Oakland, that know the city, know the streets, know the people in the city. I mean, if we do more local hire with our police officers, I think we'd have a better job policing our city. And lastly, we need a long-term plan to get 300 more police officers, so at least we have 900 to be able to. Then I would feel that we would do something with public safety real great.
Councilor Lassiter, you laid it out for you.
Well, I think the mayor did talk about some of the challenges. We're going into budget. She said that we're going to have a community conversation around where we get the money to do it. She clearly stated that police and fire comprise a little over 50% of the budget now, and where are the other cuts and where we prioritize. And I think that is a community conversation that falls on the feet of the council and our residents and clearly our businesses. And I think she also talked about Measure Y sunsetting in 2014 and the need for us to reauthorize or go deeper. And she said we will be talking about that. So I believe we're on the right track. She mentioned the fact that we have hired the Wasserman Group to give us some guidance and to give an assessment of where we are so that we can get to the long-term crime reduction strategies. That's not only about how we are safer when we get to the number 900, which is ideal, but how do we deploy the 600 to 700 or 800 officers that we have in a more strategic way and use technology so that we become a safer city now with the resources that we have. I'd love to say that we could go to war with the army of our dreams, but we all know that we go to the war with the army that we have. And I think that it is wise and prudent for us to think about how do we deploy our scarce resources, our powerful resources in more strategic ways.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank you.